Hi, my name is Reggie Powell, and on behalf of the crew here at Marriage Reconciliation Playbook, I'd like to welcome you to another Love Fest where we celebrate and love on the marriage that the two of you have created. The two of you are doing something so wonderful that this world needs so much. Even if you may not believe it yet, what you are doing is so important in the world nowadays. You guys are trying to love on each other to the best of your ability, and we want to help you with that because we appreciate what you're doing. We are an all-encompassing solution for creating, raising up, and celebrating loving, successful marriages. In fact, we want your marriage to represent our loving, successful marriage revolution. So we want to cover as many topics as we can that to give you the best foot forward to help the best training for your marriage to represent us. And so to that end, drop us a comment or any question or whatever you have that you want us to cover. Drop it in the comments and we'll be sure to cover it for you. And if you believe in what we're doing, if you appreciate it, could you please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Once again, to give us a thumbs up, comment, and we would so appreciate that because it's the only way that we can do what we're doing. And on that note, if you do nothing else, could you please just head on over to marriagereconciliationplaybook.com and sign up for our daily successful marriage tips so the two of you have no excuse not to treat each other lovingly. So, we've been on a what is love series, and because we've recognized the fact that when you come into marriage, you don't have the love that it takes for a marriage when you come into marriage. Because when you come into marriage, you come in with self-love. You've been loving yourself since the beginning, since the dawn of time. And so it's not your fault. It's the first law of nature is self-preservation. So we're in a lot, there is no marriage college, marriage university, and so a lot of people don't know how to love well. And so we've been covering the aspects of loving well, and we've gone over love being patient, love being kind, love not envying, love not boasting, love not being proud or dishonoring others or being self-seeking at all. And so now we're to the point where we're talking about love not being easily angered or not keeping any record of wrongdoing. Now, when I think about that, I think about arguments between couples. Most couples argue. A lot of the reason couples have knockdown, the real knockdown dragouts, is because you get so into yourself and you get so offended about everything. Think about it. The more the argument goes on, the more the least little thing offends you. The more the argument keeps on, there can be something that can be said way 15 minutes into an argument that can drive you up the wall. Where if that same thing was said when the conversation first started, it wouldn't have bothered you at all. It's because the more we go on, the more we get into ourselves. The more we get into ourselves, the more it becomes about us. I know that sounds kind of obvious, but it's not as obvious as it sounds. Because we become about us, then once we become about us, then we lose sight of the marriage, we lose sight of the truth. So now we're not arguing for truth anymore. How many times have you heard, well, when's the last time you spoken to your friend? Well, I don't know. It's been years. Well, why haven't you spoken to him? You know, I can't even remember what we were arguing about. It's been so long, but I know we haven't spoken. That's because it wasn't about the truth. It was just about feelings being hurt, which brings us all back to love not being easily angered or keeping no record of wrongdoing. Not being easily angered or keeping any record of wrongdoing. Watch this. This is how you came into the conversation. You came into the conversation. This is why that thing we just talked about that bothered you into the argument, but didn't bother you at the beginning of the conversation. It didn't bother you at the beginning of the conversation because you had the mentality of not being easily angered and not keeping any record of wrongdoing. But as you converse, as you communicate, that starts to fade away. So the key is you got to keep the not easily angered, not keeping any record of wrongdoing. And the easiest way to do that is to follow the rest of the love attributes. They all work together. They all flow together. If you're not being patient, kind, and if you have an issue with boasting, and dishonoring, then you're not going to be able to you're going to be easily angered, and you're going to keep a record of wrongdoing. So that's the talk for today. Hopefully that made sense, and we'll cover a little bit more about love next time we meet. Take care.